Hello and welcome friends in another tutorial video of Baijit classes. In today's video we are going to talk about a defense of poetry. A defense of poetry was written by Shelley in the year 1821. But before that we need to know that why did Shelley write this. Actually in the year 1820 Thomas Love Peacock published an essay named The Four Ages of Poetry, in which Thomas Love Peacock said that poetry to modern man is not as useful as it was in the previous ages. And Thomas Love Peacock in his essay divided poetry into four ages. The first age is the Iron Age, or the age of infancy. In this age he has referred to the poetry of the medieval period, that is the medieval ballads and romances, which he thinks that this kind of poetry is quite immature and unrefined and is crude in form. Secondly, he has talked about the golden age, or the youth period, the period of youth for poetry. Here he has referred to the time of Renaissance, the Renaissance period, when he believed that poetry was in its bloom. Thirdly, he has talked about the silver period, or the middle age for poetry. In silver period, he has referred to the time of the new classical period, in which imagination was pruned by the new classical rules in the age of Dryden and Pope. And fourthly, he has named it as the age of bronze. Very much simplicity, and where poetry returns to an artificial simplicity. That is the age of the romantic period. Then in the year 1821, Shelley wrote a defense of poetry in order to give a befitting reply to Thomas Love Peacock. And in a defense of poetry, Shelley said that poetry is the expression of imagination. Poets are bestowed with poetical or creative faculty. Poetry is a union of wisdom and delight. And every form, be it the art, be it the painting, dance, philosophy, sculpture, all these forms are the various faculties of poetry. They all come in the form of poetry, or within the circumference of poetry. And Shelley has also said that poetry is a weapon to call for a reform, to bring an upsurge. And in his poem Ode to the West Wind, we have seen that how he has used poetry as a weapon to bring about a change in the society, in order to make a golden society, an ideal society. Shelley did not agree with Thomas Love Peacock that in his age poetry experienced or experiences any decay. Rather, he said that in his age poetry made a great abundance in quality and in form. So that's all for now. Do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update.